All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I think most of you know me as a bodybuilder, as a world champion, and also as a father, not just father, as a good father for my kids, my 4 kids, and also as a good husband to my beautiful wife. And also, you know me, this one, the red one, with the cover. This is our Meetei culture in India. In Manipur we have this. This is to respect elders. So we put a piece of cloth or something to respect the elders. So my wife, whenever she goes to Manipur, my homeland, she does. That shows she respects my culture. And also, you know me as the first one from Asia to get the Hall of Fame in natural bodybuilding. But I know you know so little about the place where I was born, where I grew up. And today, I will introduce that place and I'll show you that place. Okay, next. All right, the story of today's presentation is a hard and troubled life in a beautiful land. Yes, my place is so beautiful. It is called the Paradise. In my language, we say Kangleipak. It means land of the gods and goddesses. It's so beautiful that people also call the Switzerland of the East. You know Switzerland, right? Switzerland of the East. But life in this beautiful land is so hard, so tough, so difficult, as you can see from the first picture. Let's see. Next. All right, this is my place here on the left side of the screen. This is called Kangleipak, or we also call it Manipur, the Paradise, the land where I was born and grew up as a cowboy. I used to take care of my few cattle. And this is the place where I grew up. Today, in front of you, I'm standing here as a professor, as a father of 4 kids, as a world champion, as a Hall of Famer. But you never knew the place where I was born, where I grew up, and where all these good qualities were instilled in me in this very small, beautiful land. And it is the size of, I think Taiwan is about 3 times bigger than Manipur, Kangleipak. That means it's a very small state with a population of 2.3 million. 231嘛, right? 2.231人. This is one of the beautiful lake called Loktak Lake. It's a freshwater lake. In Manipur, my hometown Kangleipak is surrounded by 9 mountains. And inside we live as a Kangleipak, as a Manipur. And inside there, in the valley, we have this lake. And this lake is very special. In the sense, you see the small islands round. These are not land, but these are floating grass, heavy grass and floating, and where you can even build houses and tourist spots. And these are the homes of fish, frogs, snakes, and many underwater creatures. And not only that, there are big animals with, you have never thought about, which you have never seen in the world, where you can only find in this floating island, in this floating lake, Loktak Lake. Next, please. And this is the same, in the same lake, we have tourists. Many tourists come here, they like to enjoy, they like to do the boat riding. So we have this. Monica, take care. Too quick, Monica. A little bit. Okay, next. And that same lake, you see here, many floating islands, small. And this is also called Kaibul Lamjau National Park. It is preserved as a national park in my homeland. Because here, there is one animal which is very special, which you cannot find in other parts of the world. Only you can find here in my homeland. Next, please. Yes, this one. This is a very beautiful, we say, the dancing deer. Yes, and in our local language, in my Meetei language, in Manipuri, we call this animal, this dancing deer, as Sangai. And this you can see nowhere, but you can see maybe look alike, but this is only found here in my homeland, Kangleipak or Manipur. Next, please. Alright, to protect that special animal, we host festivals every year to let people know that this unique animal is so important that it cannot be extinct from this world, from our land, from my land. So we organize these festivals, and then many people come and we get them awareness. We let people know the importance of this animal. Next. Alright, this is during the festival, you see performers, drama performers, they're acting like that Sangai animal. Next, please. And not only we have that festival, we also have Haiku Hidongba, this is our local language, and this is boat racing festival. You might have seen Dragon Boat Festival in Taiwan, right? Yes, you do. But in Manipur also we host these festivals every year without fail. And you see here, these are ladies and the girls. Also, not only men and boys, we also have racing competition festival for the women folks. Yeah. Next, please. All right, here you see here, they are quite young. The others are men. So this is for men. So this is a racing. It's like we have every year here in during the Dragon Festival in June. We had in Taiwan, right? So just like that we have in Manipur, in my homeland. I think, yeah. So Kangleipak, and I will tell you a little bit history about this later. Next one, please. Okay. Why my homeland is known as the paradise, as Kangleipak, land of the gods and goddesses. The reason it is so beautiful, as you can see, it's like in heaven. And you can see flowers blooming. Every season, different flowers blooming. And you can see, and you will be so much attracted if you go there. Next, please. To protect this flower, this is called Siri flower, Siri lily. It was discovered formerly by the British when they ruled Southeast Asia, India, for 200 years. Once they went up to the hill, please repeat. They discovered this, and this flower is called lily. So we also organized Siri lily festival to protect this very unique and special, beautiful flower. Next, please. You see here. Can you see how beautiful it is? This is my Kangleipak. This is my homeland. It's so beautiful that it looks like Switzerland. So the people call it Switzerland of the East. Switzerland is Europe, but this is Reisin, I think. Switzerland is Reisin in Zhongwen, right? But I can even tell you, my place is even better than Switzerland. You know why? Because the weather is so comfortable. It's not that cold like in Switzerland that you cannot grow up plants, you know. I mean, fish will die in the cold and people cannot go out and walk. But in my homeland, it's not that cold, it's not that hot. So it's like we are in air-conditioned room. It's so nice, so beautiful, and the climate, the weather is so pleasant. That's why so many people like to go here and trekking and spend time. Yeah. Next. A very good place for trekking and mountaineering. It's all green. Very beautiful. Yes? Okay, come to the other side. You know, as I mentioned before, my homeland, Kangleipak-Manipur, has only 2.3 million people. But how many in Taiwan? We have 23 million, right? R.O.C San. Eastern San, right? Eastern Taipei. Taiwan 很多呢，比较多, right? But we have, how many times? 7 times, I think Taiwan is more than 7 times population of my homeland, Kangleipak. But, amazingly, surprisingly, I'm very surprised. Why? How come we got our own script, our writing script? You people have Chinese script, right? But we also have our own script like this. A little bit look like Thai script, a little bit look like Chinese script. It's kind of mixed, but it's very totally different. So this is my language, Meetei Lon, or Manipuri language script. This is the language which I speak. Next one, please. These people are, you know, every community, every people, every group has great holy men, right? In Chinese, we have Confucius, right? In Buddhism, they have Dalai Lama. In Christianity, they have Jesus. But in Kangleipak, for we Meetei community, we have the great 7 holy wise men. They are great, they are very wise, not only wise and great, but they are very holy. They are very sacred and very wise. And this, you see here, this is the script, this is the Huyas, Meetei's holy books. This is the holy book, and the books our people, our ancestors, our wise men, holy men, they wrote for our land. And we still follow their advice, their wisdoms today. Yes? But very sadly, very unfortunately, I would say very, very sadly, an incident happened. This is called Tama, burning of our holy books in 1729 AD. The story is an Indian monk. Here, you can see here in the picture. His name is Santidas Gosai. He came some 300 years ago. He came to Kangleipak, and then he influenced. He changed the mind of our king. The king's name is Pamheba. King Pamheba's mind was changed, and he was converted. He was changed to Hinduism. And this Santidas Gosai, he asked the king to destroy all our holy books, to destroy our religion, our original religion, which is called Sanamahi. Sanamahi is simply like we pray our ancestors, just like Taoism in Taiwan. We have different gods and goddesses. We pray our ancestors, and we call them like Wakangba and Sanamahi, without Sanamahi. Like we have different names and different gods and different ancestors. We worship and we pray. Not yet. And because of that Indian monk, Santidas Gosai, the king ordered and collected all the holy books and burned down. And since that very day, our history changed. And the mindset of people also changed. And till today, we are in trouble. We are living in hard time, in trouble. Next, please. All right, this is the gate, and this is the mythical creatures. Believed in the past that this dragon head, like in Chinese, dragon head and lion body, this protected the palace, the king's palace, the holy place, and that is the gate, which is known as Kangleipak. Today we still have, and we believe these mythical creatures protected that area. And here lived our kings and queens, and those wise men. They were in the court of kings and queens of. This is a holy place, a very holy place for we Manipuri, especially we Meetei community. I belong to the Meetei community who live in the valley. And let me tell you, before the Hindu monk came, the people of the hills and people of the valley, we Meiteis used to live very peacefully as brothers and sisters. But since he came, everything changed. And those who don't follow the Hindu religion, they were driven out, and they will be caught, and they will be tortured, and they will be killed. So many ran away from my homeland, Kangleipak, the paradise, the land of the gods, the heaven. They ran away to other countries and other neighboring places. That's the very bad and unfortunate history we have, which we can never forget. And things became very different since that very time. Yes, next please. Okay, this was in Condom War, Anglo-Manipur. As I mentioned before, Southeast Asia and India was ruled by British for 200 years. You might have known in history, right? But once, in 1891, our people had to fight against the British Empire. And they were so strong, they had good guns and cannons and weapons. But we only had sword and the shield, no guns. Might be we had, but very old style might be. But our king and our generals and our armies were so brave. They knew fighting against the British, they would be killed, they would be defeated. They knew for sure. But instead of surrendering to them, instead of giving up, instead of running away from the British army, they stood firmly on their feet and they fought. And they were killed. They lost the battle. But they died with dignity. They died with satisfaction. They tried to protect their land. So they died happily, smiling and dying. Next. Alright, this is our king, King Tikendra Seth, and this is his general who fought against the British army very bravely to defend their country, Kangleipak, to defend their homeland. Next, please. And very sadly, our king, he was only 35 years old. And his general were caught. The British said they were against the British rule empire. So they were hanged to death in public, in front of people. They were killed on August 13, in 1891. A very sad history. In our own land, our king, our army, our generals were killed. Not only 2 of them, but also another 3 were killed, hanged in the prison, in the jail. Yes? Next. 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 Okay, so when I went back to India last year, it's my family, my sister-in-law, my elder brother's wife. We bowed down to the king who died fighting against the British to defend his kingdom, his land. We respect every year on 13 August, we pay homage, we pay respect to the king and the general and to those who died. Next, please. Not only our men were brave, our ancestors were brave, but our women folk were also very brave. And you can see later, even today, they are so brave. So this is Nupi Lang. Nupi means women. So they fought against the British. It's about something to do with rice. You know, we are rice eater. Rice is our staple food, main food. Without having rice, we couldn't live. So, but the rice business was controlled by Indian traders, Indian businessmen, and the British together. So our women folk were very upset and angry. They didn't like their children die out of hunger. So they fought against, and they won. Very brave. They fought against the bayonet, against the guns, with bare hands, without any weapon, or women, or mothers. That's the spirit my people had those years, and still we have. Next, please. You see, they're fighting against. This is the British office, so they stormed. They went there, and they found. Please, next. All right. Sadly, or unfortunately, or happily, I don't know what to say, but for me, it's kind of sad. We were an independent kingdom. We were living as a sovereign kingdom, as a country. But in 1949, Manipur, Kangleipak was merged, joined to Indian Union, Indian country. But many scholars and professors say our leader who went to Delhi was forced to sign the paper to be part of India. But at home in Kangleipak, in my hometown, those lawmakers in the government, they were against signing, against the treaty. But our leader was forced, our king, our leader was forced to sign. So that's how we became a part of India. As you can see here, the blue, this one, this is Manipur, this is India, and this was a kingdom. Here is a Myanmar, Burma. So long time ago, it's small, though we were living as a powerful kingdom, with dignity, with respect, with pride, which I think we have lost today, very sadly. Next, please. Yes, in spite of all those misfortune, history, change of religion, because the King Pamheba forced our Meetei people and the hill people to change, but our ancestors still managed to survive our own culture, which I follow today, which many follow today, even in Taiwan, here in Taiwan. In my family, we celebrate our New Year, my Meetei New Year, every year. And this is not in India, this is not in Manipur, not in Kangleipak, but here in Tucheng, in Taiwan, New Taipei City. This was just last year. every year we have this celebration. That shows, from this you can see how much I respect my culture, where I came from, and who were my ancestors. And this is what I tell young people in Taiwan. You have to be very proud of your culture. You have to respect where you came from. Without your Chinese culture, who are you? You are nobody. You have no identity. You have no dignity. You are no one without your culture. That's why I focus so much on my culture, and I promote and I help young people to believe in that follow your culture, follow your religion, and people will respect you. I believe I'm a respected professor here in Taiwan, and I'm a respected friend, I'm a respected sportsman, because I believe where I came from. I believe in my culture. But I also respect Chinese culture. Here, when Chinese New Year comes, 过年来, my whole family, celebrate. So, but don't forget, don't underestimate your culture. Don't forget your culture. Don't forget where you came from, as I do. All right, next please. And our culture is very sweet and very loving. This woman is nobody else to me. She's not my mother. She looks like my mother. No. She is a woman, a homeless woman, neglected by her own family. And she lives in the old house. But last year when I went back, she was taken home by her family, because I wrote in the newspaper, I wrote on the Facebook, and I scold. I wrote very strongly that this is not a good culture. And every time I go back to Manipur, Kangleipak, my homeland, I always visit and I will meet those people who live in the homeless home. And this is one of the grandma. Very sweet. And she was also blind. So I touched her feet and I bowed down, and she blessed me. This is how my culture respects elders, women, mothers. But things are changing, just like in Taiwan. But people are still trying to keep the good culture. Yeah. Next, please. Also, we have a very strong respect for our teachers. This is what we don't have here in Taiwan. Sorry to tell you. But when I came first time here in Taiwan, I thought, oh, Chinese culture, Confucius is a great teacher. I thought when I go in the class, I thought students would get up and say, good evening, good morning, teacher, but nobody said. So I was surprised. But in Manipur, when teachers come into the class, students will get up and say, good morning, sir, good morning, teacher. Teachers are so much respected. And I follow that culture even today. Whenever I go back to India, to Manipur, my homeland, my teacher, he's not my school teacher, he's my bodybuilding teacher. 我的健美的老师教练。But he is a 84. No, 左是 90. And he's a world champion. He's a Mr. India, and then he competed against Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, one time he competed against. So every time I go back to my homeland, Kangleipak, Manipur, I would go to him and I would bow down. Oh, this is my wife, and we would bow down. We would touch his feet, and we would get blessing, and then we would give some pocket money. You know, old people are very happy to get money, you know. So don't forget to give some money to your ama, to your grandparents. So this is the respect we show to teachers, and this is what we are missing today here very much in Taiwan. We need to teach young people. Okay, next please. This is our Meetei culture. This is our women from in the valley, my community. They are carrying some sacred fruits and flowers and rice to offer to some gods and goddesses or to some great holy men. Okay, next please. Alright, this is another community of the hills. So we have in hills, we have different communities, many communities. So this is one of the community. This is their culture, this is their dress. Just like we have in Juming in Taiwan, right? So we have here. And they are called Tangkul dance. So they are ready to dance their dance, Tangkul dance. Okay, next please. Alright, this one is my community. This is called Meetei dance, Kamba Toibi. It's a beautiful story behind it. But maybe someday. Okay, next. This is another dance called Cowboy dance. Hill people. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Next. Okay, this one is very unique. It might be you have never heard about. Simply, it looks like a market. Yes, it is a market, but you can never find anywhere in the world. You know why? Because this is only for women. Not even single men can sit and sell things. Only for women and ladies. We call it e-market or mother's market or women market. Only in Kangleipak-Manipur you can see this. This shows how much we respect our women, our mothers. Sorry to say that, not like in India. Alright, next please. This e-market, a women's market, is not only for the local people, it is also an attraction to tourists. So these ladies, these girls or ladies, they are beauty models. They are beautiful models coming from all around the world for a beauty pageant show in my homeland. So they were visiting here in Ima Keitel, women market, and shopping and browsing and talking to people, taking pictures. Yeah. Next please. Then everything changed. In spite of all the God-gifted land and blessings, means we have so beautiful land. We have talents, we have wisdom, we have almost everything in my homeland, Kangleipak, Manipur. But sadly, as I mentioned in the beginning, we have a very hard life, very troubled life, very miserable life. Why? Because this is how we have been living since we became part of India. We never lived like this. But since we became part of India, Indian government, they imposed a rule. Okay, next please. Which is called EPSA, means A for arm, F for forces, S for special, P for power, A for act, means special Armed Forces Special Power Act. That means it has a law where if you are suspected as underground people who are fighting to get independence or freedom from India, if armies doubt you, they suspect you as underground people, then these armies can arrest you, can torture you, can put you in the prison, or can kill you at the spot. This is the law. This EPSA, Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958, gives this power to the armies, to the policemen, to kill at sight if someone is suspected. And we are living under this almost since we became a part of India. So, people of my homeland, time and again, they protest, they march on the street, they complain, they wrote letters, they published newspaper, on TV, everything they have done. But let's see, next please. Next one. I'm missing something. Next one. Go back. Go. 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 Oh, here. This is Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958. It's so dangerous, so terrible, so oppressive. You have no freedom. You know, India is very famous, and Indians are very proud that they have the biggest democracy in the world. You know what is democracy? Well, like we have democracy in Taiwan, right? Do we have this kind of army rule or like that? No. In Taiwan, policemen are so nice. People can just fight, right? If you do that in my homeland, you are dead. So this lady, her name is Irom Sharmila. You know how many years she fasted? Salionian, 16 years non-stop, not even one meal she ate. Only feeding her through her nose, liquid. For Salionian, can you imagine this, our politician in Taiwan pretending, oh, they are fasting for something, not even one day, right? But this lady, for 16 years, how long? She almost died. And she was always put in the prison. They say she is against the Constitution. She tried to suicide herself. And that's the accusation they have, and they always put her into the prison. But finally, she came out, and then got put in, and she became a very icon, famous person in the world. But do you think Indian government changed anything? No. They never did anything for my homeland. They never took out, they never changed. They're still keeping this, we said, draconian law, rule, means oppression. This still keeping in my homeland, Manipur. But finally she quit. But we fell. Not only her, our mothers, our young people, our girls, our students, all protest against this act, army rule. But India does nothing for us. Why? You can ask yourself. I'm not going to tell you today, maybe some other time. Next please. Yeah, you see here. Okay, next. Sam. Okay, not only we are living under this terrible Armed Forces Act, we are so unfortunate, so misfortunate, so sad that we are also living under heavy bribery and corruption. If you like to get a job, job in the government or in private, you have to pay hundreds of thousands to the government or to the company, you know, for becoming a nurse in a private or government. You have to pay like 300 to 500,000, $500,000 you have to pay just to get a nurse job. What about if you like to get a doctor job, an official job? You have to get millions of NT dollar, Taiwan money. That is the place where we are living in. You know, when I came to Taiwan, when I got as a professional job, this professional job, you know how much money did I pay? Not even $1. In Taiwan, I just applied and I got, even school promised me to work as long as until I retire. But if I like to get a job and work in my homeland, Manipur, Kangleipak, do you think I can? You know, I grew up like a cowboy, as a cowboy. I had no money, I had no land, our parents are no job, they had no job. And they are illiterate. They are peasants, you know, they work for other farm owners. I would never get a job. That's why when I got married to my Chinese wife, Taiwan wife, I came here and I applied. My wife helped me to apply, and I got this job, and I'm still working today for the last 17 years and plus, yeah. Now 18 years running. Next place, very bad system we have. Okay, so not only that, this is another problem. Living with fear and worry for future. We are constantly, every day, every year, every month, we are living under constant worry for our future. You know why? Because we are only 2.3 million people and a very small land, but so many illegal foreigners coming from other neighboring countries like Myanmar or like Bangladesh or like Nepal. And above that, also these Indian mainlanders, they are coming here to work in our Kangleipak. You know why? Because Kangleipak, as I mentioned you before, is paradise. The weather, the climate is so comfortable, so good to live, and everything is so hot, yum yum, delicious, because it's very natural. So people find very comfortable and happy. So they like to live here, but we worry. One day we will be swallowed by these illegal immigrants and mainlanders. So our people asked to pass a law that is called implement the inner line permit. We call simply ILP. Inner line permit means a special law to protect us, to protect ourselves, so that other people from other countries or neighbor, our mainland Indians cannot just come and settle there, so that they cannot buy land, they cannot settle there. Maybe they can work for some time, they can go back, but not become a Manipuri or a Kangleipak. This is what we've been fighting for so many years, but so far nothing has happened yet. Next please. You see here, so pity. These are small young girls, high school girls. They're fighting against the water cannon. Army spreading, shooting the water guns to these girls. And they are trying to protect themselves. What they are asking simply is, and these women, our mothers, they're fighting for the future of my land, my homeland. And people die. You see here how pity, how sad to see. This, you look at Taiwan. Young boys and girls, they even don't like to study. They don't even like to go to school. And my girls, these little young girls, they're fighting against the government, against the army, to save our future, to protect our people. And not only them, these old ladies, our mothers, are fighting for that law to introduce, to implement that inner line permit, a special law to protect ourselves. But sadly, nothing has happened yet. Yes, next. But the good news is, let's enjoy again for some time. It's too much to bear. In spite of all these chaos, disturbances, troubles, killings, messy corruption, invasion by the immigrants, our young people shine in the world. Our state, Manipur, is known as the powerhouse of sports, because only 2.3 million people, but they beat whole India in the national games. Kangleipak-Manipur became champion. So our land is known as the sports house, the powerhouse of sports. Means the land of champions. And luckily, I am one of them, and I Taipei of Taiwan and I Taipei of my homeland, Manipur. I represent both my homeland, Kangleipak, and I also Taipei represent Taiwan. Since 1999, And this was just last year when I got Natural Olympia. This is the third Natural Olympia I have got, but I have got 10 world champions, and I represent both Kangleipak-Manipur, my homeland, as well as Taiwan, because I love where I came from. And I also love my second country, Taiwan. And besides me, this woman is known as a fearless champion. Her name is Mary Kom, and she's a bronze medalist in the Olympic Games, but she's a 5-time world champion. She is working as a lawmaker in the Indian Congress. Good for her. Then the other one is Bobby. They are all from my state, Kangleipak. His name is Bobby, and he's 5 times world champion. Not only that, we have more athletes that place next. Yeah, here we have archery. Oh, she came to Taiwan. She was #1. Lily, she came, and she's world champion. Kunjarani, and here Mirabai and Sanjita weightlifting. Recently, they got world champion. And here, soccer, very talented soccer player, my friend. And then we have, this is our martial art. We are very good. My people are so good, like Chinese people, in martial arts. And there are many world champions we have today. And not yet, and soccer. Soccer, our women, our girls always beat other teams in India, almost every year continuously. So that means our young people, our people are very talented and very skilled. And we have God-gifted strengths, natural strengths. And they love sports so much like I do. Even though we are living in that situation, we are winning today. We are showing the world where we came from. Next, please. All right, here, this is very special. This is called Polo, horse riding game with a small ball like hockey ball. This is called Polo. And we are very proud that we believe we get this game to the world. That's why you see here, we get the world, the game of polo. So every year we have this international championship in my homeland, Kangleipak. This and this. So the British will come, South African will come, American will come, England and Australia like this. So every year we have this world championship. So my homeland is a land of sports, land of beautiful hills and mountains. Yes, next please. This is the last slide. You see here, in spite of having a small land, in spite of having a small population, just 2.3 million, Kangleipak, Manipur is actually a land, a paradise God has given us. Nature has given us beautiful scenery, beautiful landscapes, mountains, hills, lakes, rivers, and vegetations, animals and plants, and flowers. And our people are very skilled, talented, hardworking, positive. But very sadly, I have to say, our leaders have lost the spirit, the strength, the honesty, the sacrifice, the dignity, the love, the true love for their land, for Kangleipak. Our leaders have lost all these things today. And I feel, they lack high morality. That is why we suffer so much today. If our leaders are good, common people should be good, right? If the leaders are bad, corrupted, dishonest, selfish, then how the common people will be good? Be careful. 现在台湾的台湾国家 is going down. And following these leaders, political leaders, our big officers, bureaucrats, big officers, they also follow. and they bribe money. I mean, they take bribes, they do corruption, they eat money, and our young people, just like here in Taiwan, are losing the spirits, the pride, the dignity our forefathers used to cherish, used to possess, used to cherish in the past. But still, some people are really working hard. We still have good people, we have still good leaders, just don't have power in the politics. So, in spite of all these problems, this situation, we are looking forward for a better Kangleipak, for a better Manipur. Thank you. God bless you.